You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, my name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
host of Locked On Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Thank you for making the Locked On Rays podcast your first listen every day. And remember, the podcast is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube at Locked On Rays. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Locked On Rays. And you can email us lockedonrays@gmail.com. Well, Ulises, it's been a while since we've done this, but it is a Monday, so trying to get back into the groove, the swing of things, if you will, are weekend takeaways, observations, and what we learned about the Tampa Bay Rays and baseball in general from the past couple of days, the weekend, that is. What do you got?
Well, I learned something I didn't want to learn, which was another setback for the Rays. Yonny Chirinos apparently had a surgery on his elbow, a fracture on his elbow on mid-September, I believe September 22nd or so, and had surgery the week following that. This means that he won't be ready to be on a mound after spring training has begun. So his rehab would take him in late April and early May. So we could see him on a major league mound taking the ball, let's say mid-May, late May, if everything goes perfectly. Yes. But with Rays injuries, Kevin, usually not everything goes best case scenario.
No. By the way, with Yonny Chirinos, over under 75 innings pitched in 2022 with this setback in mind.
I mean, you gotta hope that, if the guy hasn't pitched more innings in 2020, didn't pitch at all in 2021, and now has a fractured elbow. I don't know if 75, if you're even going to put 75. So yeah, you would hope for more, but I would have to go conservative here and go under.
Yeah, I think they would definitely want to take their time with him and ease him back into whatever role that is. Maybe it's a 1-inning guy, then a 2-inning guy. Yeah. Then, all right, we'll give you some bulk options and bulk opportunities here and there. Maybe sort of like they slow play Drew Rasmussen with. Maybe they do the same with Yonny Chirinos. It's just, you never know with those elbow injuries, those arm injuries. It can change the complexion of a guy's career. It can ruin a guy's career. So I guess working in Yonny's favor is he's a pretty hard worker and he has a strong athletic build, but sometimes that doesn't matter with your elbow, a little bone here and there. I mean, the list of pitching injuries, it's unbelievable what has happened over, really, this has been a trend for a while now, but a lot of Rays pitchers over the years have had some injuries here and there. But and I also wonder this about Yonny is if this will change his repertoire a little bit, maybe to take stress and pressure off his arm and elbow. Maybe he scraps the four-seamer. Yeah. Maybe he throws fewer split changes. Maybe he just becomes a 2-pitch pitcher until he feels comfortable working in a third pitch. So I think it's safe to say that our prediction or our guess a couple weeks ago that Yonny Chirinos would have a spot in the rotation, it might be a little bit delayed. Yeah. So as of right now, just kind of piggybacking off of that, today, what would be your opening day rotation? 1 through 5.
What I think or what I want, because those are two different things. Because if I had command of this thing, Shane Boss is making the opening day roster, but we all know he won't. We all know he won't. So everybody stop saying that he will. What
you want as the opening day rotation, and we have to take Chirinos out of the fold.
So I take Boz, McClanahan, Rasmussen, Patino, and in that 5th spot, that's the one everybody wants. Yeah. Make it Yarbs. Make it Fleming, make it Dietrich Entz, make it Tommy Romero, sneak in a Jalen Beeks maybe as a bulk guy, maybe a Waka type. And by Waka type, I mean a Waka that's resigned, that promises, pinky promises, and maybe does a blood pact to never throw cutters again. That type of Waka. Yeah. And or a Waka type guy. That's the fifth spot. That Brent Honeywell is in that conversation too. I mean, there are names for that fifth spot. But though that's my ideal, just go with your four guys. Just give them the time so that by September, October, when you don't want them to break because of the pressure, they've been there, they've done that, give them the time. But we all know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. I do like that idea and really that order too of Shane Boz, McClanahan, Rasmussen, Patino, and then that fifth spot could be Yarbrough/Waka, something along those lines. Anything else from this weekend that piqued your interest?
Actually, yeah, I do have a little bit of a thing. I wanted to surprise you with.
Okay.
This is me at my most ultimate football here. Apparently, nobody else in NFL has thrown 600 touchdown passes except for TB12, who did that yesterday. Mike Evans, who got the touchdown pass, gave the ball away, the football away. The fan obviously was very nice, and he gave the ball back to Tom Brady. He received a game ball, apparently $1,000 to be used in the team store. And then Tom Brady said that he might send him a helmet, I think a signed helmet with a signed jersey. Kevin, if Evan Longoria were to return to the Rays and his 400th home run, which could be attainable if he goes off, but we'll see that.
I would say a very low chance that that's attainable.
In this scenario, when he hits 80 more bombs in the next 4 years or 5 years, and he signed with the Rays in 2025, 2026, maybe to say goodbye to the Trop in 2027.
Yes. You
catch that ball, Kevin. What do you do? Do you keep that ball and sell it online on eBay? Get your 401k all padded up, or you ask Longo for just some cleats and you walk away? What's your take on that?
I'm not. Longo hasn't given me anything in my career. Some great moments, some great memories, but I'm keeping that ball and trying to cash in on a payday. I just won a little mini lottery, so. That's what I'm going with. I know it might sound heartless, but some of us need more money than others. If I was this guy, I think you make the example of the Bucks guy.
Yeah.
The fan, I think he's a doctor or getting close to being a doctor. So he might be in a better position financially. But today, if it was to happen today, the spot I'm in, I'm making as much money as I can off of that ball. I'm sorry.
How much? I mean, obviously, Longo's ball and TB12's game ball is completely different.
Yeah.
But for TB12, I was hearing like 300K, 400K.
Yeah, then that just totally cements my decision that
I'm real
selling that money, or I'm selling that ball to get that money.
That's real
sure.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Longo's 400th home run would be on the open market. It definitely would not be that. But yeah, I kind of have to agree with you if it's TB12. If it's a thing I can make life-changing money, yeah, I'm taking that route. But if it's something that's, I mean, if it's Longo's 400 ball and it's more of a memory for him than anything, I'll take the signed jersey. I guess it's the context matters.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if it's Wander Franco's first home run, I probably do return that thing.
Right. Okay.
But
cool.
Yeah, I'm going for the money grab. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I kind of want to gauge Locked On Race listeners. If you have a which one would you take, the money and run, or would you just trade it up for some memorabilia? You know, write us, you guys know where, at Locked On Race on Twitter, on Instagram, and always at lockedonrace@gmail.com.
Now, I would try to negotiate maybe with Longo and see what his price, what he's willing to give up and give away. But if it's not going to match or get close to what I could get for it on the open market, then I take the best deal. I got to take the best offer.
How Raysian of you to just get market value, to just get the best offer. I like
and it would be a little bit different. Okay, maybe I might change my tune if Longo had been in a Rays uniform this entire time.
Okay.
But now that he's to me, I'm almost so far removed from Longo that he comes back for 1 year and then gets it. I don't have that connection that I would if he's it's not his fault.
No, that's fair.
It's not like he's been a Rays lifer.
True.
There's how many seasons has he been in San Francisco now. 3, 4.
8, 9, 20, 21, 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have that allegiance, if you will, anymore.
Fair enough.
So today we want to tell you about a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle. DirecTV Stream brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, which means you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. And the best part, there is no annual contract. So stop waiting and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Okay, Ulises, getting to really more of an observation than what I learned or a takeaway, but something that I've been thinking about, and I think everybody has been thinking about, is when are the Rays going to give a contract extension to somebody? When is that shoe going to drop? It has been, what, the last guy was Blake Snell back in, I don't even know what month that was. Was it March or May of 2019?
2019, yeah.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
My first question for you is, do you see the Rays giving somebody a contract extension over the course of this offseason? Yes or no?
CBA. Oh, the dreaded
Just
3
assume
letters.
the CBA gets negotiated and hammered out. I know it probably won't happen as
smoothly
hope.
as we all
want. I don't think so, but
I'm going to say yes, just
okay.
for the sake of the exercise and the time constraints that we have on the show. Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, fair enough. My next question is, you are the Rays, and you have set a pot aside.
Okay.
We have $50 million.
Okay.
And we can be creative. We can spread it across 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. We have $1 million. We've gone to a player that's on the team within the organization. And we've said, if we give you $50 million, a $50 million contract, will you accept it?
Okay.
And every player in the Rays organization has said yes, except for one, Wander Franco. Okay. Wander Franco said he will not accept anything less than $250 million. He wants to break records. He wants to buy untold number of Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. But everybody else, they say, you hand me a contract that says $50 million, and I will be willing to go up to 8 years, 50 over 8, okay, 50 over 7, however you want to do it. 50 in our coffers, we have $50 million to give to one player, not named Wander Franco.
Yes.
Who is that player? Who do you give that money to if you're the Rays?
I got to go with 3 guys in the podium. 1, 2, 3. Number 1. No, I'll start the backwards. Number 3.
Go backwards. Because you're only given. You can't. Here's the rule. You can't divvy it up 15,
no,
15.
It has to be
20.
one guy.
Yeah, one guy.
So my top 3 on the third place here, Luis Patino.
Okay.
Young, controllable starter, durable. You've seen the stuff. This is an arm that you can trust, and you want to can be the top of the rotation kind of guy that you hope. I think Luis Patino would be one of the candidates there. On my second place for this 50-year, 5-year deal, 50 mil, 5-year, I would put Austin Meadows.
Okay.
2 out of his 3 full seasons with the Rays, he's shown that he is an all-star caliber player, a guy that can be in the middle of the lineup and provide exactly what you hope for from his bat. Yes, is he a little bit platoon heavy? Yeah, but it's a good side of the platoon. It's against righties, so I do feel comfortable doing that. He's an athletic guy. I know the glove is not necessarily there, but we've always talked about your idea of him being a first baseman. So he would be a lefty first baseman, which is usually a nice little get. He's my second guy. My first option, Shane Baz. The delivery is clean. The arm is clean. The way that he commands presence, at least in the regular season, he knew that he belonged. I think the bright lights maybe got him a bit in Tropicana Field in that game too. But this is a guy that if I said the same thing about Luis Patino handling a rotation, an ace of the rotation type of guy, he definitely is. So he would take my first spot on this mythical $50 million 5-year deal.
So you wouldn't give it to, or I guess Shane McClanahan would not be in your top 3.
No, he would not be. Would he be on yours?
I honestly don't have a top 3.
Oh,
I just have one guy.
Okay.
And his name is Shane. And I agree with you. It's Shane Boz.
Okay.
That's who I'm giving it to.
Okay.
And
same reason, or do you have another one?
Well, I think just the fact of how quickly he's developed since the pandemic, like you mentioned, the change in the delivery. He's already got 4 usable, good, very good pitches.
Yeah.
I mean, really the only pitch that I think doesn't even need a ton of work, but maybe a little tinkering is the changeup. If he can get some more arm side run, but it already has about 10 mile per hour differential between his fastball, which again, one of the more cleaner, easier deliveries that you're going to see. And
100%.
Coming out of his hand, I went and watched clips of him today, and you don't know if that's a slider down and away coming. You don't know if that's a curveball in the zone coming. You don't know if that's a fastball up and away, up and in coming. You don't know if that's a changeup down and away coming. Like
the overlay. I'd love to see a pitching ninja type of overlay, or the ones that Alex Fast does. Those would be really cool with his delivery, because it does seem like it's just you have to guess very late, and that's exactly what you want from your pitcher, is that everything looks the same for a long period of time, and then it diverts.
Yeah. And you know what? If I know that he got pulled early and the bright lights might have gotten to him a little bit at Tropicana Field in the playoff game, but it's not like he didn't have some good at-bats or some good portions of that outing. Like, you had some swings from Rafael Devers and Kyle Schwarber. So he's still, and what? It was his 4th career start.
Yeah.
In the big leagues.
We forget that, don't we? We're like, oh, Shane and Drew just folded under pressure. It's like Shane was his 4th, and Drew's was what? His 11th?
At a young 22 years old.
Yeah.
Too. And
dude was pitching in Double-A, Kevin.
Yeah.
This year.
Am I speaking out of turn and saying that he's further along at his age right now than Tyler Glasnow was at his age?
Not at all.
So
not at all. I mean, you saw Tyler's struggles when he came over in 2018.
Yeah. And
he got barraged by the 2018 Toronto Blue Jays. I think he got tagged for like 7 runs in the first couple innings. He's just a different type of beast. So I do think that's it. Now, I want to kind of see your podium though. Okay. I want to poke a little. I mean, 2 and 3, Meadows, Patino, is that a good 2 and 3 in your viewpoint? Or do you see another guy that I didn't say that could be a 2 or 3?
It's tough. I don't know about, I would almost have McClanahan on the top 3.
Really?
Yeah. Probably before Meadows and Patino.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a number 3 as of right now. What I'd really like to see is and I know it's not really completely fair, but see what Josh Lowe can bring to the table, but Al Brujan can bring to the table, and maybe see if they really show it, then maybe you give the extension to one of those guys. Or you could technically, if per my question, if anybody is willing to take this deal, except for Wander Franco, maybe you give it to Tyler Glasnow. So that might be my top 3 right there, is Shane Boz, Shane McClanahan, and Tyler Glasnow, to be frank and honest. And then maybe number 4 is Randy Rosarina or something like that. But no,
if you're stretching that 50 to Tyler Glasnow, this is a very interesting hypothetical here. $50 million for 3 years. I think Tyler says yes.
Probably yes.
50 mil for 5. I don't think he does.
But speaking of Shane, and I think again, if Shane Boz legitimately would, I know we're just talking in hypotheticals here, but he might actually take a deal like this where he looks to one side, the other side. Look what happened to Chris Archer. Yeah, look what happened to Tyler Glasnow. Yeah. Look what happened to Brendan McKay. Look what happened to Brent Honeywell.
It's got to be scary. I mean,
look what happened to Yonny Chirinos.
Yonny Chirinos. Yeah. Sometimes you just have enough bullets, Kevin, that you have 2 good seasons. Something happened. Ask Mark Fidrich of the Tigers in the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Sometimes you get injured. You were a great star and boom, Mm-hmm. You're done. You're out of the game. People forget about you completely. It happened to Jeff Neiman.
Yeah.
He was a serviceable guy, a middle of the rotation guy. Got hurt. Boom.
Matt
Moore. Somehow still toiling, I guess, with the Phillies. But
not the guy that we expected him to be.
And not the guy that's earning what we expected him to earn. So, yes, I think young guys, the Shanes, the Ulises might look, even Tyler might look around and say, maybe secure money is better than not secure money. But you know what's better, regardless of your situation, Kevin?
What's that?
Oh my God, Built Bars. Built Bars. I mean, no matter. I mean, even if you're stuffed, you can still have a Built Bar and not feel guilty because they're healthy and delicious, and they've got tremendous flavors. I mean, you got raspberry, coconut, cherry barcia, double chocolate, German chocolate. I mean, the flavor list is endless. And the best thing about it is the low calories too. 130 to 180, 5 grams net carbs, sugar too, very low. So you got to get yourself some Built Bars today. You go to built.com. But before you purchase, you hit that buy button, you hold up and you say, wait, Ulises said use the promo code, and you're going to use the promo code. It's LOCKED15, LOCKED15. You hit that promo code, you get your 15% off of your purchase, and you're going to get some healthy and tasty, delicious bars called Built Bars.
Very good. All right. The World Series, believe it or not, Sans Rays begins on Tuesday. It'll be the Atlanta Braves going up against the Houston Astros. Am I fair in saying that I think 99% of baseball fans, 99.9% of baseball fans are rooting for the Braves in this one? Only Astros fans are rooting for the Astros, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe not. But it does feel like that on social media, that it's basically Astros against 29 other fans. And we all know why. It's because it's let's go Charlie Morton. Let's go Travis d'Arnaud. It's Guillermo Heredia.
Drew Smiley. You know what? If the Braves win this thing,
look at that.
The Rays should get like a transitive World Series ring or a trophy or a replica, something. Hey, we gave you 4 or 5 players that contributed and made an impact on this postseason roster for the Braves.
Kevin,
help us out.
We already have enough banners that maybe we shouldn't fly too proudly.
Wild card banners.
Yeah. How do you feel about the wild card banners, by the way?
I think it's kind of Bush League. I think that the Rays, maybe if it happened in the first couple years, I get it, right? Hey, first winning season, you make the playoffs, okay, do it. But they shouldn't be hanging wild card banners up any longer.
You know what it is? It sucks because in 2008, they won the division. 2010, they won the division.
Yeah.
So you had 2 divisional banners there, and the 2011 was just so magical that they were like, okay, well, we have to put a banner, and that was a mistake. I think you could have done something special without making it a banner.
And they kind of did that with the 162 landing, did they not?
Yes.
I mean, that's all you need to do, really. You don't need to do anything else.
It's part of the stadium now to remember. But I know, just a little plaque, just like retired numbers. You could put a wild card plaques instead of a banner, because a banner is pretty big and it's always there. So. Yeah, I don't know how we got into the banner talk, but
who do you think wins this thing? We know we're going for the Braves here, but are they actually going to win it?
No, I mean not so. No, let me take that back. I want them to win very badly.
Yes, if
they win, I actually will be kind of surprised because I saw this team and live and they had components there. Obviously, they were a different team on July 19th that they are right now.
Right.
And we've always said playoffs is whoever gets hot at the right time. They got hot at the right time. They really did. And if they can somehow manage their way out of the bullpen, that it's their biggest flaw, then I think they certainly have a chance. If I were to put betting lines on this on BetOnline.ag, I would go 60-40. Astros are probably going to win this, but I'm like 100 want the Braves to win this.
Look, I don't disagree. I think that, let me say this. I think the Astros are a more well-rounded, better team. They've got more star power. They look the part.
Yeah.
But the Braves have something special going on. They've already gotten through better teams in the Brewers, in the Dodgers to get to this point. And I will add, I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes, but it is a little bit of a difference knowing that Lance McCullers is not going to be available for the Houston Astros. But I think the Braves have that overcome adverse. They've got that 2019 Nationals feel to them.
Yes.
And they're kind of in a way, hey, we're just going to ride the horses that we have. We're going to ride Charlie Morton. We're going to ride Max Fried. We're going to ride Ian Anderson. They got enough lefties to neutralize Yordan Alvarez. Look, I would put, if we're going to stack roster and talent side by side, I would take the Astros just about every time. But I think Atlanta pulls this thing off. I don't know how they've done it, how they've gotten to this point so far, but they've got that little magic, that little special sauce of, and really there's nothing that's set them back. They lost Acuna Jr. They lost Ozuna. I mean, they basically had to remake their outfield on the fly.
Yeah.
They've got Adam Duvall playing center field in a decent center field at that. And they've got some guys that are just showing some magic. Rosario, they're doing things that I can't exactly pinpoint it or explain it. I really don't think they're like a great, amazing team. You just look at, hey, they only won 88 games in the regular season, but they're hot at the right time. They have things going for them at the right time. Their confidence level has to be through the roof. Veteran presence. I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta.
You know what? I hope the baseball gods hear you, and that's exactly what happens. And we've talked about it. Not only crapshoot, but you need that kind of magic dust surrounding the mythical run to the World Series and what they overcame and this team and all that. The Braves have that oozing out of them. And the Eddie Rosario, like getting him this year and just have this type of production, it's always that guy. It's always the one guy that is completely not on anybody else's radar that becomes a postseason star. Happening with Howie Kendrick. It happened with Randy Arozarena. It's happening with Eddie Rosario. There's just some magic in there.
Jock Peterson, for example.
Yes. And doing it against his ex-team too in the NLCS. That was really cool. So no, 100% let's go Braves. If they take it though, if they take this, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be 6 games, 7 games. I do not see the Astros folding. I mean, also, if we're going to just be a little bit of devil's advocate, who has the biggest chip on their shoulder in baseball? The Houston Astros.
True.
As wrong as that chip on their shoulder is, because it is wrong, they were the ones that put that on themselves. They did that. Nobody else told them to do that. They did that, and they got caught. But the problem, they have it, and they think everybody hates them. And that probably is very true. A lot of people dislike them. That amps up a team. Like we're going to show everybody. And there is something to that. So it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to go long, 6, 7 games. I don't see this ending quite quickly.
It's going to go long, and the games, I think, are going to be long as well, with all the pitching changes that we could see from both sides. And I mean, John Romano with the Tampa Bay Times wrote a really interesting article about the length of games. And I don't want to get off my lawn, old man, boomer type, but look, and I know this game is in Houston to start at 8 p.m., but you got to push the games back to 7:37. Like I can't be staying up till midnight to watch the conclusion of a game.
No, why 8 p.m.? Why 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Must be the central time with Houston, but still,
it doesn't matter.
It should not matter. You're trying to get the national audience. People are there for the TV. People will find a way in Houston to get to the game if it's at 6 or 7 or 5 or 4. It doesn't matter what time it is. They're going to make their way to the ballpark.
If you are willing to make ALDS games at 1 p.m., you should be able to make World Series games at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central. Ooh, yeah. Gosh forbid somebody takes an hour off work if they themselves chose to go to the World Series game. Like it's preposterous. We're not going to stay up till midnight to watch this. We got work to do, man.
I know.
God, dang it. No.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned this series will go long. And most of the postseason games so far this year have been like 3.5 hours.
Yes.
At least. There's been some marathons. 23 hours of baseball. Over under. For the World Series.
Over.
I agree.
Over.
Lock in, everybody. Lock in. Oh my gosh. And go Braves.
Go Braves.
That's what we got. That might have to be our adopted team.
Yes.
If and when the...
Hey, easy. No, none of that.
I'll cut it off.
Sign us off.
All right. Sounds good. Fair enough. Thank you for making the Locked On Rays, not Locked On Braves, Locked On Rays your first listen every day. Now make sure your second listen is the Locked On MLB Prospects podcast. Host Aram Layton is a prospect encyclopedia, and he's going deep on the MLB Stars of Tomorrow. It's free and available on all platforms, so be sure to check that out as